They say that the future of humanity is virtual, a place where our personalities are uploaded, and every moment of our life is played out in cyberspace. But what do they know? Ford Mustang. The future belongs to those who build it.
Hockey New Zealand's coverage of the Ford National Hockey League is proudly brought to you by Ford New Zealand in association with our hosts Tauranga Hockey and the Tauranga City Council, and thanks to key partners Tect, Trillion Trust, Educare, and Vantage Windows and Doors, principal partner of Hockey New Zealand.
Good evening and welcome back to the Tauranga Hockey Centre in Blake Park, Mount Maunganui, as we get ready for the men's final in the Ford National Senior Tournament. Canterbury Beavers up against the defending champions North Harbour. And waiting sideline with the coaches is Nigel Gregory.
I'm talking to Stephen Dowd from North Harbour Hockey. Stephen, you reached the final. Has it been a gradual build-up to the week for you?
It has. We haven't played our best at times, but we've made it to the final, and we've got a good young squad, so we're looking forward to it tonight. Yeah.
Often talk about teams and whether they have changed things during the week, or has it been steady as you go?
We changed a couple of things for the semi-final, and I felt we played a lot better in that game, so I'm looking forward to tonight. Yeah.
And is there a surprise up your sleeve for tonight? Have you got a couple of moves to put in today?
Maybe. We've got some good young talent, so I'm just hoping they can showcase some of their skills tonight, so yeah.
And if you win this game, what do you think's the ingredient that you've got over Canterbury?
Just youth and skill, basically.
Well, good luck for today's game, and thank you for taking time to talk to us.
Cheers.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
All good. Thanks, guys.
Nigel Gregory there with the North Harbour coach. That's Stephen Dowd. As we get ready for the start of this one, North Harbour, as I mentioned, the defending champions, but Canterbury coming in on the back of some scintillating form. They scored 30 goals at the tournament, conceding just 3. North Harbour, in contrast, scored 5 goals, conceded 2. So surprise, surprise, 2 of the top goal scorers in this competition, the National Senior Tournament for men, are players from the Canterbury Beavers. I'm Brenton Vanessaroy. I will have the 4th game we're covering here for you right now. With me in commentary, providing the expert comments, is Andrew Bryden. A very good evening to you, Andrew.
Good evening, Quinton.
A game that we should be looking forward to for a few fireworks, because Canterbury can certainly put the goal in the back of the net, and North Harbour's defensive record is pretty mean feat as well.
Yeah, listen, you've got a really experienced side with the Beavers. There are some younger players coming through, but we're just looking at the shot here. You've got Chris Goldsberry, the captain, who's actually moved up from the midfield into the striker role. And he's one of the league goal scorers at the moment, so he's actually added a lot more punch to the Beavers. But you've got guys there, third one to the right, the ex-NHL player. So there's a real balance within the Beavers side, and they're going to be pretty tough tonight to actually beat.
So North Harbour, the defending champions. Canterbury, the form side, coming into this one. Tasman won the women's title. If you have just joined us, catching up with the news there, it was Tasman coming back from 2 goals down to win 4-2 over Tauranga. As you see that Canterbury Beavers seam there, and look out for 2 of their players, in Goldsberry and Gilbert. 5 goals and 6 goals, so 11 goals between them so far in this competition. A remarkable record. And North Harbour just shaking hands with the officials, and all now in readiness for the game as the Canterbury Beavers go through their final warm-ups. The Harbour side go into a huddle and a chance to look through their lineup as well. North Harbour side, the defending champions, look out for a few brothers as well in that side. The Iversons wearing 7, 10 and 12. Hilaweni, Taimana and Kihi Roa as well. And so they will be 3 to watch for this North Harbour side. And as Coach Stephen Dowd mentioned, a young team. They'll be looking to try and prove a point against this Canterbury setup. There's the final huddle for the Beavers as well. So the Beavers in their singlets, black singlets with the Beavers written across the front. Out of Canterbury, North Harbour in the traditional North Harbour colours. And we're ready to get underway under lights here at the Tauranga Hockey Centre, Blake Park, Mount Maunganui. The men's final of the Ford National Senior Tournament is underway. North Harbour with first use of the ball. We'll see exactly how these two sides feel themselves out early on. North Harbour with a bit of space, so they're able to push forward, but well cut out by the Beavers, and the Beavers have an early opportunity, waiting for the ball to come to them, and it does come to them. There's an opportunity to shoot, and just wide. And that was one of those players that Christopher Goldsbury, the co-captain for the Beavers, so early warning shot across the bow of Harbour.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty key to them, and he's also the natural leader within the side. He's actually been with the side for a minimum of 7 years, so he's probably approaching 70-odd caps for the Beavers in total.
Well, as you mentioned to me off air, quite remarkable, Andrew. This is Canterbury's 7th straight final.
Yep. And here we see Harbour just with early pressure into the net on the spot, and that's a PC.
And earning a penalty corner, well called. So Harbour a chance to get on the score sheet early here. Canterbury only conceded 3 goals during round robin, but Harbour a chance to score what would just be their 6th of the competition. But what an important one it would be as Harbour march forward, get their PC battery in order. The defensive unit out there for the Canterbury Beavers.
So in the first minute, we've had we're attacking goal on both ends within the first minute. So
it's incredible. Hope this bodes well for the game.
I think we're going to be in for a big scoring game. I really do believe that.
As Harbour with their first penalty corner going to the near side, just away. Not far away though, and they remain in possession, knocked away by the Beavers.
Yeah, that would have been Scott Greed. So he's a very experienced defender, also been in the side for the last 7 years, and he would be one of the best linemen in Canterbury hockey. Some of the saves he saves just phenomenal.
There's now Harbour trying to continue their pressure on the Canterbury goal. Nice work in the interplay between 3 Harbour players, now finding a 4th. In the corner though, not much room to work in around, and manages to find his way around. They work through the centre into the circle, but then lose possession. And the Beavers from Canterbury clear their lines.
Yeah, what's going to be interesting in this game is you suspect with the number of goals that the Beavers actually scored that they may have had an easier run into the pool matches. And tonight with with a more solid opposition, it's just how they'll perform against a better quality defence.
As Canterbury force a turnover inside the Harbour half. Can they break quickly? Held up the initial break by Harbour. Now Canterbury
was quite happy just to play this round and hold some possession until they get their feel. They'll play quite a structured game, whereabouts I think you will see Harbour with a longer ball and getting their strikers higher.
Yeah, willing to be patient. Canterbury, an opportunity to cross here across the circle. No one willing to get on the end of that one though. And that's over the sideline. So danger voided by North Harbour. But pretty frantic start to this one. Still only 3 minutes gone. We've had a penalty corner and a shot just wide by Canterbury too. Penalty corner for North Harbour. It's a rematch of last year's final as well. Harbour coming out on top of that matchup. 3-0.
and the Beavers would have taken that quite poorly. So there'll be a wee bit of a revenge sitting in this. The Beavers do like to win.
Yeah, been a very successful side, winning a number of titles, including the inaugural title. They won 5 times, including 3 of the last 6 as well. Runners up the other 3 times over that period. So they have been the team to beat if you want to win the National Senior Tournament for men, that's for sure. Now working their way into the circle are Canterbury, and the free hit goes Harbour's way. So Harbour able to clear their lines. Nice little stick work there to avoid the first defender and another, and he worked. Nice little run down this right flank, then runs into a cul-de-sac though, surrounded by Canterbury players. Nowhere to go, and Canterbury earn the free hit. And they'll just take their time over this, get back into their structure, and see how they can break down this Harbour side.
So just seeing Harbour just backing off a wee bit, just half courting them, just trying to force a mistake from the Canterbury side. Canterbury have found nice space up the far corner.
Yeah, now can they work it into the circle? They do, but unable to find a Canterbury stick. So it runs over a byline, and it'll be Harbour possession once more. We'll see the approach they take to try and get out of their own zone. And that will leave a bruise or two, that one. Hitting the side of the leg, just behind the shin pad. There's now Harbour back with it. Looking long this time towards midfield. Well trapped by Canterbury. And now tries to find his teammate. Knocked out over the sideline by Harbour. So Canterbury staying with possession inside Harbour territory. There's 5 minutes gone in this Ford National Senior Tournament men's final. Defending champion Harbour side up against last year's runners-up Canterbury. A rematch of the final. And the first 5 minutes are anything to go by. This is going to be a cracking contest, folks. Make sure you do stay with us here. These two sides will go at it. End-to-end hockey we've already seen. And as Andrew mentioned in the opening minute, we saw a shot just go wide and then a penalty corner, all within the first 60 seconds.
So we also see some pressure coming on from Canterbury here. They put some sustained pressure on in the attacking half. So Harbour, we want to try and get the ball back and actually hold some possession.
Yeah, it's been tough going trying to get out of their half, and they do so now. And now see what they can do if they can attack with any pace. Crossing now or onto the edge of the 22 and inside now the edge of the circle. Great run from the Harbour number 10 and Taimana Iverson, but then unable to get that reverse stick pass to find a teammate, and in the end the run came to nothing. And Canterbury a chance to clear the pressure. Canterbury just trying to find the way out of the zone. Good tackle by North Harbour. Straight to a Canterbury stick. Again, one back by North Harbour. And now they have possession inside the defensive zone of Canterbury. Good work from the Harbour press, harassing the defenders for Canterbury Beavers. And Beavers players put his hands up and apologises for giving up possession. Harbour, an opportunity to attack now. Can they make something happen in and around the circle?
A bit sloppy here from the Beavers. They need to actually just take a little bit of heart of what's going on and just take be a bit more disciplined with their tackling, because they're just rushing things a wee bit.
Nice little stick work to avoid the defender. But
yeah, John O'Spence, he's an ex-NHL player, played many years for the Canterbury NHL side. So just as he's maturing a wee bit, he's decided to be, I think, unavailable for the NHL side and enjoying the atmosphere of the Beavers.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Got a penalty corner coming up here. Oh no, advantage has gone.
Well defended. Yeah, so the umpire playing advantage for North Harbour. They were unable to take advantage of it, were Harbour. But they do have possession back once more, so good work from them. As Canterbury unable to find those lead runners to get possession back. Now, going back to work defensively, the Beavers. Harbour, well, certainly they're up for the contest here. They've already had a penalty corner in this first quarter. They've had more than their share of possession as well. Looked ominous when Canterbury almost scored after a matter of seconds. But Harbour have settled into the game very nicely since then. Now a good spell of possession inside Canterbury territory. Unable to make anything come of it, but they still have the ball at their stick. Do Harbour. Now they'll look to go back here and reset. Potentially open up and play down that left flank of theirs, if they can. Well defended initially, but good turn to spin Haid of the Beavers. And then looks for that cross inside, finding no teammate stick, but Harbour still have possession. Now a cross coming in for that right-hand side. Again, Canterbury knock it over the byline. Good spell from Harbour.
I need to keep quiet because I said Canterbury were demonstrating some dominance, and as soon as I opened my mouth, they Harbour come back.
Hardly had a touch since.
Yeah, well, correct. And that's what Harbour's playing Canterbury's game almost here. Just taking their time. Here's the turnover.
Yeah, now this is where it's dangerous after Harbour commit all those numbers forward. Canterbury Beavers break. Great work defensively to stop that fast break, but still on here for Canterbury. Can they find the cross? Well defended. Now the keeper trying with the kick. It's still in there. Pinball. And it's a free hit to Harbour, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm not quite sure what went on there. I think he's calling danger, possibly.
Had to call something because the ball was going everywhere.
She was scramble hockey.
So Harbour.
Better play here from Canterbury. So we'll just see.
Yeah, more of a press, isn't it?
Yeah,
making it more difficult for them to get out of their area.
And you notice a different style in play. You know, we've had Harbour pushing their three high strikers up and trying to stretch the Beavers' defence.
Oh, lovely run here. Mazy run.
Yeah, but what he's done, he's backed into the player and shepherded the player. So McLaughlin
obstruction
is called an obstruction.
Yeah, so good decision by the umpire. Yeah, the run had promise, but as soon as you turn the player and you're running backwards into him, it's a clear obstruction call.
Who's that? That's Willie Haid there sitting ghosting up on the sideline. So bit of history with the Haid family. Two of his brothers today played for North Harbour in the NHL game against Canterbury. And Willie, who's just coming back into his hockey, his dad was a proud Beaver back in the 80s and 90s.
So there's obviously quite a history to the Beavers then.
Well,
you go back to the 80s and 90s.
Well, I played with them back then too, some of those. And Nigel went downstairs, played with his father at club hockey in Christchurch. So, yeah, there is some history here. And another player for the Beavers also played in the B side back in the 80s and 90s. So, yeah, there's... and that's where the Beavers have come from. You know, they 7 years ago when Chris Goldsberry sort of came back into the side and into the province, they wanted to get this national senior tournament going and get the B-sides running again. And they've set the benchmark for 7 years. And other sides have been coming up, and it's actually improved the competitions.
Yeah, when you got a team taking it this seriously and having that kind of success, it inspires others.
And that's what actually happened. So, you know, Harbour now determined to put a decent side in. You know, we've had the Waikato sides over the years really dedicated, and then coming to the Beavers and saying, listen, you're our inspiration. We're taking this seriously. And there's been some good comps and some good finals.
So I take it that the name Beavers as well just came from bees? Or
correct.
Yeah. Good imagination there. I like it.
Well, and of course on the girls' side there was the Barracudas. So.
An opportunity here for Canterbury, just wide, judging by the players' reaction from the Beavers. I think that was a good save involved there. And goal by Harbour. We see a replay here. This one fired in just at the top of the circle. I think it hit the post.
Oh, that's Gilbert.
I think it hit the post.
Hit the post.
Unbelievable.
Big press here on from Canterbury. Putting Harbour under the pump a bit here.
Oh, there's dedication as well, sliding across. There's the captain and Christopher Goldsberry. You love to see that, even when it's just trying to stop a ball, stop a pass, not even looking for a goal, throwing yourself on the turf. Now, Canterbury, the Beavers, deep inside their own territory. Now with the overhead. Haven't seen much of the overhead. We come up with it in the free hit. Good running off the ball now as well. Opportunity here for the Beavers once more to penetrate. This one going just awry though. Of Cameron Douglas. Canterbury though will keep possession. Very close near misses.
We've had a post.
We have had a post, yeah.
Yeah, and we've had a near miss from the Beavers, and let's be fair, Harbour's put a couple of tough shots on as well.
It's been a good open game of hockey, the men's final in the National Senior Tournament for 2019 here at the Tauranga Hockey Centre, Blake Park, Mount Maunganui. It's been a privilege to bring you this fourth game of the day. Another 4 to come for you tomorrow. Ford National Hockey League action, bronze medal. As
rolls with a speculator that really didn't work out. He should never put it down there. I'll get stuck into him later for that one. I coach him. So I've got to make a disclosure here. I actually played for this back in the 80s, and I also managed the team for 5 of those last 7 years. So,
well, unless you're honest about it, not just reveling in this. It's been an amazing run from this Canterbury side, as that shall do it for the opening quarter. This men's final, the National Senior Tournament 2019. It's Canterbury 0, North Harbour 0. So a stalemate at this stage. As I mentioned, 4 games to come that we will be live streaming for you. The Ford National Hockey League. First will be the bronze medal match in the Women's K-Cup. It'll be Canterbury up against the Central, North Harbour up against Northland, and then from 4:15, the men's Challenge Shield final, Auckland up against North Harbour. So 4 big games of hockey to look forward to. This is the 4th of the day already. We've had some great action. We've seen Tasman take tournament title. 1 quarter gone, scoreless so far, but Andrew Bryden, who's with me providing expert comments, it certainly doesn't feel like it's going to stay that way.
No, but I do need to see. So we've seen periods of extended play by both sides, but we're definitely starting to see a little bit of style. Harbour's actually quite prepared to hold it around the back, with a wee bit of structure, but you are seeing these strikers coming high. Canterbury probably trying to go through the middle a wee bit too much, and as a result, Harbour's just shutting them out. And when they're trying to go round the backs. That's where I need to see. I would want to see the Beavers having a crack around the baselines now.
Chat with his side, likewise Stephen Dowd for Harbour, as they work out what to do in this second quarter, what they saw from the opposition, what they think will have maybe a bit more success in this second 15 minutes as we're back underway. Men's final, Ford National Senior Tournament. North Harbour, the defending champs, final rematch, and it's certainly felt like that as well. A lot of feeling between these two sides, a lot of quality involved as well. There's Harbour just looking to break through this press by Canterbury. They come up with a free hit. Now can they quickly make their way into the circle? Unable to find
and cutting out that central pass.
And Jack Gilbert, the top goal scorer for the Canterbury Beavers this campaign with 6, but we haven't seen too much of him.
No, but he's also the penalty corner drag flicker. So, again, that's why, Canterbury's got to try and get into the circle. In fact, he's been effective, obviously, with the PCs. And give him an
shepherded out, in the end did.
Yeah, that's good pressure from the Beavers, just putting pressure on the ball carrier into the mixer.
Yeah, just trying to find a player just running across goal, maybe try and get a stick to deflect that. Wasn't quite on target, going wide of the goal. And danger cleared for Harbour, but only momentarily, because back on the stick of Canterbury.
For a 5 metres, 5 metre call there. So with the overhead.
As they now switch play from left to right to Canterbury. Now working their way down this touchline. Doing very nicely to stay and play. Goes over the byline, but still Canterbury ball. Canterbury possession. It came off a Harbour stick. And they'll reset Canterbury. Take their time. Good work in midfield. Harbour putting a bit of pressure on, a bit of a false press. And as soon as there was a slightly off touch by Canterbury, they Space down this right-hand side. Nice little 1-2 option here. In the end, it's just taken on by the Harbour player. Now, inside ball. Can he dribble his way into the circle? No, he can't. With a jam of sticks as well. Held his hand afterwards. Now Harbour defensively having to go to work. Free hit given up. Right on halfway. Just inside Harbour territory. Come into Harbour territory. So Harbour will just sit back. But as soon as they do come into their territory, that's when they'll put a bit more pressure on. And there we go. As soon as crossover halfway, the defensive pressure comes. Now 2-on-1 here. Harbour's way, and Harbour come up. 1-on-1 here. Canterbury and Harbour, but Harbour come up. Another big tackle. That's 2 down in that area of the field. And Harbour give up the free hit. A few complaints as to what there was for from the Harbour players.
Yeah, I can understand what they're actually a really hard call. So they've called a shield, a stick shield. And players, well, they deliberately do it, to be honest.
North Harbour looking to press into the defensive area of Canterbury, but Canterbury come up with the ball. Now looking to clear and do. Now they got some options here. Diving full lengths was Jack Gilbert. Unable to get the touch that would have knocked it to a teammate on the back post. And it's back at the stick of North Harbour.
Cup, so we do apologise. Oh, here's a great ball across the front and Gilbert just missing it. So if you are experiencing a wee bit of delay on the coverage or some issues, yeah, it's been felt all over the country, unfortunately.
Blame the Rugby World Cup.
Blame the Rugby World Cup. Blame Spark. Oh, I'm not meant to say that, are I?
Few issues for everyone else. Nice little flick on though by Harbour. Canterbury coming across to clear the danger. Doing well right in front of their keeper, but danger's not gone now. Another timely interception by Canterbury. Now they have a bit of space to run into on this right flank. Crossing halfway, galloping along.
This has been
finding a lead runner. Now can they find that cross? No, they can't. Again, as they're going to say,
probably it's not a big disadvantage or an advantage either way. So teams don't really mind whether it's a hit or the long. It's one of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here we go.
As that one is
actually
fed into the circle.
There's some sustained pressure coming on here from the Beavers, and it's going to be interesting to see how Harbour reacts to this.
Yeah, still scoreless though at the moment. Neither side been able to find that telling.
This is where Canterbury's really got to start thinking about trying to work the ball down that baseline, and they haven't utilised the left. I'd like to see them have a crack at that, see if there's some holes there, because the smack in is just not working. The smash in or trying to find the hot line. They've got to find some space. They've got to give their penalty corner.
Lovely turn to beat a man there by Canterbury. Now feeding it into the circle. Hit and spin. Opportunity here. He got the spin right. Didn't get us to get the... Now an opportunity to try and clear a bit of pressure. But Canterbury are continuing to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, they've put in aggressive pressures here. Just keeping their acid on them.
Yeah, it's going to make them really work to get out of their half. But once they do, the opportunities will arise for North Harbour. So they've got to know and can persist that if they do get out of their half, the opportunities will come. That's where the numbers will be. They'll have more favourable Canterbury. Working their way back inside Harbour territory. Working their way to this right flank. Options here. Goes with the early ball to the top of the circle. It's going to be a free hit just on the edge of the circle. Everyone pours back into the circle. Patient work defensively, not committing the...
Really a lot of thought to it. Just trying to find gaps, but the gaps just aren't there.
Yeah, Harbour doing very well to block up a lot of the passing lanes that maybe the Beavers have found open earlier in this tournament. Certainly not find that the case in the final. As I mentioned in the pre-game, if you have just joined us, Canterbury has scored 30 goals in this tournament, conceding just 3, 7-1.
Yeah, that score blew out a wee bit because Waikato removed their keeper with about 7 minutes to go, and the Beavers were 4-1 up, and then really, it works or it doesn't work, and unfortunately for Waikato, here's a goal!
Oh, what a goal! What a dribble that was! The Harbour player coming in from that right flank, number 11, Luke Buxton, the captain for North Harbour, coming in off that right flank, going along the baseline, beat one.
Great work on the base. He just kept persistently at it. Canterbury were off the marker and gave him room, and really you'd expect your keeper to actually take that. So Lockie will be Lockie from the Canterbury goal will be disappointed he didn't actually take that pass off.
Yeah, Lachlan Graham beaten in goal. So the Beavers with work to do, very much against the run of play because Canterbury have dictated terms, especially in this second quarter.
And this is my fear with the Beavers, how they respond to this pressure now. As we said earlier, and it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Yeah, and I'm assuming so far in this tournament, this has been in a position they've probably not been in.
No. And to be fair, here's Bueller coming in. That'll be a penalty corner.
Well, they needed that. They've been denied for 25 minutes. Have the Canterbury Beavers a PC? Now they have one. Straight after North Harbour score first as well. What a response this is. And you're wondering how the Beavers would respond. Well,
this is the best way too.
Yeah, especially getting their very deadly PC battery involved.
Yeah, well, they've got two drag flickers sitting in there. So they've got Bueller and Gilbert. Both very good flickers. Obviously, Gilbert's must be number one this week with the number of goals he scored. But you've also got the important part with Haid. Haid will actually lay up the board. He'd be one of the best.
And so he's out of it now.
And that's why Willie Haid's so good with the injection. He's quite deceptive, so it upsets the first runner. So now we've got three defenders sitting in the net. Puts pressure back onto Harbour.
Yeah, it makes it a bit easier for Canterbury to find the back of the net. Still have to execute here, though. Is it going to be another one to go? Has he fooled another one? Surely not.
Who it is, but the rules now state, so it could have been a Canterbury entering the circle too early. So the injector gets set back to halfway. So Canterbury has to replace their injector. So Willie's out, but I'm still pretty certain that there will be only three defenders still sitting in there.
Yeah, it certainly is. And a great save. I don't know if the keeper knew much about it. And then the second effort goes over the top. Oh, great reaction save by the keeper as we see a replay here.
Gilbert.
It is Gilbert. Yeah, I think a ricochet without his hand being there. It might have been very well gone into the back of the net. It could have been an equaliser and the automatic response by the Canterbury Beavers. Still that goal for North Harbour from their captain and Luke Buck as they now just slow things up a bit here. Regain composure. Harbour, they lead, but almost handed the lead straight back from PC.
This might be,
almost a turnover in a dangerous part of the field for North Harbour. Stayed strong though down that side. Did Noel Roberts, Then turning the ball over now. Canterbury have it, but not so threatening a position inside their half. And Harbour again will just sit back in their half pretty much. And give very little coming at the back post. Now, switching the play once more. And cut out well by Harbour. That was really to no one.
And it was really to no one, and no Canterbury strikers were leading out for the space, so that's pretty disappointing from the Beavers' perspective.
Yeah, breakdown in communication there. Guess you got the call from the Harbour player, because there certainly was no Canterbury player in the vicinity of that one, intercepted by Canterbury. Inside their red zone, they quickly make their way over halfway with a nice overhead, which is controlled well. Canterbury player beats one.
Yeah, that was Goldsberry. Oh, no.
But then not another.
I think they've called in a 5 metre on the high ball there, which I wondered whether it was going to come or not.
There's Harbour, now look long. Well trapped, taken down. Now Canterbury able to pour a few numbers forward. Coming cross field, then a nice reverse stick ball, but well read by Harbour, who cut that one out. Now up the field with numbers. Cross coming in. Didn't have the direction necessary. There was at least two Harbour players who had made big runs into the circle, but they weren't rewarded. That one goes over the baseline, and Canterbury can clear their lines once more. Great to see a good crowd still in attendance as well. Two neutral teams here, but Canterbury Beavers and North Harbour being supported by those two in attendance. North Harbour, 1-3-0. Canterbury in their 7th straight final, the Beavers. Quite an achievement. Certainly set the benchmark at national senior tournament level. And North Harbour trying to go back-to-back, and they're halfway there. They lead 1-0. Looking for a second before half-time here, Harbour. Make their way just inside the circle. Nice little spin on the baseline. Can they keep going? No, they're defended out, but they retain possession for the final 30 or so seconds here. Nice little spin attempted on the edge of the circle. Cut out, though, and defended. Penalty corner, won by Goldsbury.
That was great work. Good counter attack. No time on the clock, and now you've got the opportunity to smash it against your opposition, and that's really demoralising just on the half-time hooter.
Well, they've had one opportunity here. It was a rather fortuitous save for North Harbour's keeper. Canterbury, you see the Beavers on the socks. Special team with a great history. Can they level up before half-time? Well trapped. Good effort. Great save first time, but still open. Net.
Oh, we've got a stroke.
And a stroke.
It's come off the foot of the defending player.
On the line, they say. So that will be a penalty stroke. Well, it hit one of the Harbour players, and then the second effort. Well, did it touch that first player's foot? I couldn't see that.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, certainly not the player we saw anyway.
Okay.
Now the stroke to try and level the game, and it is level.
He's gone to the right side of the attacking goal, and that's a really hard place to put it, and he put it at pace, and it was almost a side netting, so almost impossible for the keeper.
Yeah, Ben Hours, wonderfully done from the spot for the stroke, and Harbour unable to launch an attack in time, so half to North Harbour after their captain Luke Buxton opened the scoring with a sublime solo effort. It is one apiece here, and just your half-time comments, Andrew, before we take a break.
Oh, well, where do you go to? Listen, there's a real arm wrestle going on in this match. The Beavers are certainly pouring on one or two chances. But the trouble with, the challenge for the Beavers will be the counter-attack style of the younger North Harbours, and whether the fitness at the end of the match will last out for the Beavers. You know, that's going to be key.
So 1-1 here at the Tauranga Hockey Centre as we take a break for some special.
Is played out in cyberspace. But what do they know? Ford Mustang. The future belongs to those who build it.
Hockey New Zealand's coverage of the Ford National Hockey League is proudly brought to you by Ford New Zealand in association with our hosts Tauranga Hockey and the Tauranga City Council, and thanks to key partners TECT, Trillion Trust, Educare, and Vantage Windows and Doors, principal partner of Hockey New Zealand.
Canterbury Beavers and North Harbour, and it is 1 goal apiece. And we'll show you the highlights, the goal highlights of that first half, and they all came in the second quarter as well. This is the fourth and final match. We are live streaming for you today. Tomorrow we have 2 bronze medal matches in the men's and women's Ford National Hockey League. Then the 2. Luke Buxton, he picked it up pretty much right on the edge of their 22 for Canterbury and dribbled his way all the way through the Canterbury Beavers defence, and that will not be one that is the coach, I think, will be very happy about, as now we see the Canterbury goal. Firstly, the awarding of the penalty stroke, as it must have come off that front player. Yeah, so we thought initially off the player off the line, but we maybe can see why they awarded a stroke. We thought it was maybe a bit harsh at the time, and then well dealt with by Ben Owers, and that has made it 1 apiece between nothing. It's all tied up at the moment, 1 goal apiece, and you got to say overall probably a fair reflection of the game. Canterbury have had the better of it. They've created more, but yeah, you can't go against the spirit and the character North Harbour have.
Holes through the midfield. Canterbury, I think they need to do actually what Harbour's doing around the circle edge. Be a little bit more creative, try and hit the baseline. Let's try and get some more penalty corners that will pay off, that sustain pressure. At the moment, they've been a little bit too direct to the spot and too much speculation. They need to be more precise around that attacking. Overall, though, they're playing well. But, yeah, we're in for a big feast here.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of drama still to come in this one. There's no doubt about that, as the 2 coaches are going over instructions. We saw the Canterbury Beavers huddle and self Brenton Vinisroy in commentary, along with Andrew Bryden providing expert comments this evening.
Oh, I think if it was the Beavers, they wouldn't be saying I'm expert. There will be certainly other comments.
Well, you're experts on the Beavers, aren't you? Surely you're an expert on the Beavers.
Oh, I know the Beaver history. I probably know too much of their history.
Yeah, less we know about that, I think, the better.
It is, if you notice there are some ugly smudges under noses, that's part of the culture. In the second year of Chris's captainship, he saw a photo of a Canterbury Bee from the 80s and 90s, and at that stage, men wore mows. So you'll notice every Beaver has to grow a mow the month before they actually play.
Superb moustache.
He also sometimes gets the hand grips, the hand grips out. He's hilarious.
Yeah, certainly on show from the Beavers, who are still going over things, and the Harbour side all in the goal, going over things as a squad as well. A few Northland in the semi-finals, scoring in the last really seconds of the game. It was an incredible finish in their semi-final, so they know how to do late drama to this North Harbour side. Of course, they are the defending champions. They know how to win. 3-0 winners over this very same Canterbury Beavers side. A few changes in personnel, obviously, for both sides, but it was the Canterbury Beavers 12 months ago. Can they win one?
Well, let's see how it goes. This will be just one of those matches that might now go to the wire. I was probably at the start of the match thinking, this could be a 4 or 5 goal game. I think we've had to rethink that quite quickly. This will be an arm wrestle to the end.
As the keeper's getting back in position as well. You see the 2 get in their areas. That was Lachlan.
Was injured at Oceania recently, and only had the 2 days before the tournament, had a broken thumb diagnosed, so had to pull out. So Will Zhao actually got pulled up into the main squad. Canterbury Beavers had to find a keeper. Really a boy now, I think, but he's been in big games with the Beavers before. He's very experienced, and he also played for Sanjay's club side when he studied in Christchurch for 4 or 5 years. So Sanjay knows him very, very well. Well,
you never know. Maybe called on at some stage in this game. Wait and see. How does he go in penalty shootouts? It might be a possibility. First half, and now they have another one. Their 3rd penalty corner of the game, Canterbury. And the protestations of North Harbour waved away. An opportunity here straight away in this 3rd quarter for the Beavers.
So what will happen now will be interesting, because we've got... just having a wee look here. Bueller's actually stepped away, so There might be something a wee bit different here.
And a different taker as well.
Oh, no, sorry, I just thought Rob Buell.
I believe it was.
Yeah. He's when he throws the ball, he's absolutely just built like a rig, that boy. More disclosure, I coach him at club hockey as well, and when he's on target, and this will be low, and that was just pure power. I guarantee that was about 2 inches off the deck and pure power. Yeah,
nothing Nathan Richards, the defender, could do, or the goalkeeper Grayson Javins as well for North Harbour. So, boy, has this turned. And it's interesting, Andrew, because you wondered how Canterbury would respond to being down. It's a rare position for them at this tournament where they've, I suppose, in a lot of ways had it so easy. What a response we've seen.
Yeah, fantastic. And, again, they've actually got it into the mixer this time, and were constructive when they got the ball on the end of the stick and forced the penalty corner.
As Canterbury back with possession inside. They can't keep it in this time, walking the tightrope of that baseline. But out it goes.
But Gilbert did find space down there, and I think that's going to be really important for Canterbury. That's where they can expose the Harbour.
He's now looking to go back, to go forward, a Harbour. Patient with their build-up as well. They've played usually a bit more direct at times, as they don't want to have that happen to them. Yeah. Canterbury come up with a turnover deep inside their territory, so it'll be interesting to see if they just try and pass their way out again. They persist with it for the time being. Now, looking for options here. Now go to the middle of the field, slightly dangerous, but well controlled by the captain in the middle of the park.
That's a great turnover.
Yeah, he turns the ball over.
There, by any means.
No, it's a very dangerous position. And Buxton, captain for Harbour, looked composed initially, but then great pressure from Buell, won the turnover. But Canterbury unable to capitalise on that opportunity. There's Harbour now looking over the top for a teammate, unable to find one. And now Canterbury with it. Has two players on him. I think we may have had the conclusion of the bronze medal match as well, which we
in the match, but I'm not sure where that one ended up.
Yeah, that certainly was the case. Northern saw that goal as well. Northern with a bit of a thunderbolt from the top of the circle.
Well, I think if he hit it any harder, he was sending it to Antarctica. That was an incredible shot.
Yeah, it was going to put a hole in the net, I think, if it missed the goal entirely. It was a great shot. Canterbury. And now an opportunity to get out of trouble as well. Great close control by these two sides.
Yeah, there's a couple of youngsters to the side with Legg and Rolls. Rolls was in the team last year. Legg's first time into the Beavers.
Well, I can let you know that Waikato have taken home the bronze medal, so they won the National Senior Tournament here in Tauranga. So this the final game to be completed. The title match between Canterbury and North Harbour. North Harbour have just been harassed by Canterbury. Canterbury making it very difficult for them to get out of their own half. It's the two different styles, isn't it? Canterbury looking to inside their own half, and the passing opportunities for Canterbury. As Canterbury give away possession there. Just over 5 minutes gone in this second half. It was 1-1 at the half. Canterbury, the early penalty corner goal, and that's now his 7th goal of the campaign. More than Harbour have scored in the whole tournament itself. It's quite incredible strike rate. Harbour, good interception there. Now can they quickly turn that into attack? No, it's a wayward pass. Trying to pull off something a bit cheeky, and then going well.
The ball by any means.
Now, Harbour making their way to the baseline, sticking in play. Can this time the keeper makes a very good interception, but it's going to be a penalty corner, I believe.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate there. Schofield made the clearance, but it came off Jono Spencer's stick into his body, so unforced, but I don't think you could blame Jono.
Teammate's body, and the umpire has no just other decision to make, but that's a penalty corner. So what can Harbour come up with here? To take it's going to be Adam Banks, the replacement players for Harbour. See what their battery can come up with.
So it's going to be a straight poke, and that's wide.
Oh, that's not far away, though. That's a fair effort. Fair effort by Harbour, but yeah, just missing. Well covered, I think. It's just showing how close that was. So yeah, a bit further away than I initially thought. And
when I see
Canterbury had it.
Yeah, when I see the keeper dive that far out, it's usually a little bit wider. What's going on here? I think we've got a blood bin, have we? Yeah. Oh, he could have been injured in that last one. He'll be is a bit of a very, very solid and experienced defender, so he'll be missed back there. I don't think he's actually come off this match at all, so looks like Ben Howes has dropped back into that role. Rolls just puts it straight out.
Straight out.
On the full.
Back in possession. Back in the Canterbury half. Looking to go back to work. Trying to make their way into that circle. They won a penalty corner. This is where they've had success. Down this right flank along the baseline. They've twice NHL partners as well. Ford, naming right sponsor of the Ford National Hockey League. The Tauranga City Council, TECT, Trillion Trust, Educare, Kookaburra and Vantage. Principal partner of Hockey New Zealand. Without them, this tournament and our coverage of it would not be possible. So a big thank you to all their support. And we'll be bringing you another 4 games tomorrow.
Just with some unforced errors back there, really. It was a bit very, very sloppy, and another unforced error.
That's like 4 or 5 in the last many minutes.
Yeah, Greed just pushing his player wide.
Lovely little spin there with no room to play with. Again along the baseline, Harbour. This is where they're saying off a Harbour foot, but not given.
They're calling that for a hit straight out, so interesting. I thought that actually came off the keeper, so I didn't see that correctly.
Yes, now, again, to be taken by Adam Banks, so they're probably a good foot away last time round, maybe a bit more, 1.5 feet. See what they can come up with this time.
Had good guess on it, so if he brings that in, that's Scott Greed. He'd be one of the best line defenders in the Canterbury comp. And he's just saved. And I've had comments from this week. He saved some phenomenal balls on the baseline.
Yeah, well, another example of it there, a very fine one, because it initially looked like Harbour were going to go pretty much the direct route that they went with last time. It was a bit of a change up, a variation. Proving a bit costly for Canterbury. Leaving the door open for Harbour here.
They are. Yeah, it's not a good passage of play for Canterbury.
Harbour. But the return ball is awry. Just trying to find Jaden Rakowitz there. Able to do so. Disappointing final ball because it looks so promising as they went straight up Route 1 of Canterbury.
Yeah, again, a speculator ball in there, which has just been cut off every time by the Harbour defence. They just need to have a wee bit more accuracy with that final pass.
Trying to turn his player inside out. Harbour opponent up to the task that time. That was Taimana Iverson defending well.
Trapped that ball, but he got the shot on.
Yeah, Felix rolls indeed.
Here's
now an opportunity here for Canterbury. Well defended by Harbour. You thought for a moment there was a chance we can get a shot on goal, and as soon as the opportunity came, the door shut. Harbour player there to pounce and clear. Just momentarily though. Canterbury looking to close out this quarter just like they started it.
So here we're seeing Harbour now starting to put the pressure onto them.
Yeah, not willing to sit back this time and just plug the holes. They want to win the ball high up the park.
And that was well executed.
Now Harbour making a bit of inroads up this left side again, working baseline, which is their key. First it was the right side, now I've had a bit of joy down that left baseline. Now here they come. This time the cross coming in rather than the dribble.
Just off the feeder rolls. So we'll have a reset on the corner somewhere.
Iharoa Iverson restarts. Finds another Iverson and Taimana. It comes to nothing for Harbour. Also have Heliwini Iverson as well. Game for North Harbour, and all three of them are going to probably have to come up with something special here, because at the moment is Canterbury in control, although the keeper comes out and misses initially, then gets it with the second effort, and that was necessary because the goal was open.
Smith coming forward now. He'll be trying to find Gilbert. Is Gilbert high there? Yes, he is.
Oh, big chance here for the top goal scorer. Oh, he drags it wide.
He'll be
And Andrew Bryden can't believe it.
I can't believe it. I wanted that top right-hand corner. Girls.
A play you know well. You think with this opportunity. There's 1 minute remaining now in this third period. This is the men's final, the national senior tournament here at the Tauranga Hockey Centre. If you're just joining us, I hope you are enjoying our stream wherever you may be. Apologise if there are any streaming issues. It's not because of us. We understand this is a very high load. I think there's a certain event on in Japan which is maybe taking up a bit of bandwidth, and it's making things a bit games. And it gets bronze medal and gold medal matches from 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, with the bronze medal match and the Women's K Cup.
Oh, here's a go.
Oh, a chance there. I don't think they quite knew there was a Harbour player on the baseline there, Canterbury.
No, he was
and he fluffed it. Unable to get the important touch. Just needed to take his time, really. It was all Goldsbury. But he's unable to get the important touch. And that's quarter time. Well, that could have been an incredible end. Almost as incredible as the first half finish.
I think we'll give a good save to the keeper there. I think that was actually not a too shabby a shot, and the keeper just got his feet or his stick to it.
Grayson Jevons, the Harbour keeper, credited there by Andrew Bryden, our expert comments. As Canterbury, the Beavers, 2-1, back to win 4-2. This time was Harbour scoring first, but they now trail 2-1. 15 minutes remaining in this men's final in the National Senior Tournament. As I mentioned, the women's bronze medal match in the National Hockey League, Canterbury and Central Mystics. That one from 10 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure you're there for that. From midday, we have the men's bronze medal match in the Men's Challenge Shield. That'll be the Capital Cobras up against Canterbury. And then the two finals. First, the Women's K-Cup final. North Harbour up against Northland from 2 p.m. And then from 4:15, the men's final. Auckland and North Harbour. The North Harbour side, the defending champions. And the Canterbury Beavers, who have a 1-goal lead. 2-1 they lead. And I think we're in for a few more turning points in this final 15 minutes, Andrew Bryden.
I certainly wouldn't like to pick this at the moment. I'm obviously hoping that the Beavers will come through, but, Harbour are finding some holes down in the circle. They are going around the back. Schofield's actually kept the back. But we'll just see what happens here.
Now, North Harbour, straight from the restart, win possession. They take it slowly, willing to just reset offensively. Give their players time to push forward. Just playing inside their half, now going back towards their defensive back position. Then quickly a few Canterbury players surround one Harbour player, and he does very well to get out of that. Down that left-hand side. Now they'll look to switch play towards the right. Looking long for a lead runner. Oh, there is one there deep, and I don't think Canterbury knew it. He's caught them napping.
Well, the Canterbury Cup player, actually, you watch this, I think he actually just let the ball go through in the midfield. And it shouldn't never have. That was Dow's. Ours probably just allowing that long ball to go through when it should have been trapped.
Yeah, big let off there.
Wow.
Flashed wide by Liam Williams with the reverse stick.
I wouldn't like a Harbour striker sitting in there with space.
Yeah, so they have a let off to the Beavers.
Yeah, they can't afford too much more of that because
Canterbury player didn't know he was there. Let the ball go, and he almost scored.
Here's a goal.
And now Canterbury.
Gilbert.
Lovely work, and this time Gilbert finds the woodwork, and it's the back of the net. Fantastic work from Gilbert. Ball comes across to him, and he beats the keeper. Unable to stop this one. Quick work. In fact,
And that was well worked by Willie. I think it's Willie Hay down in the right pocket. He just kept control of the ball, fought hard, got that pass across, and I think it was actually another wee tip off from another Beaver player for Gilbert. But Willie Hay, he has to be the one who's congratulated on that. Again, just a little bit more constructive. Didn't give away cheap possession, and goal comes from it.
And every opportunity they get now, they have to take. They've had a few that they haven't managed to capitalise on. One just moments ago, and then because when they didn't take it, Canterbury back down the other end and made them pay. Now Harbour looking to work, but patiently, but also knowing they don't have that much time. Now making their way down this right side cross. I think it hit the pads of the keeper. A tangle of sticks.
Actually, the discipline within both sides has been very, very good so far. So I hope it carries on, because typically the Canterbury sides...
Certainly a final played in great spirits. It's been a tough contest between these two. Obviously met last year in the grand final. Harbour coming out on top, 3-0 winners.
Gilbert still with the ball.
Lovely run by Gilbert. He wants a third. He wants a hat-trick. The top scorer for the national senior competition.
Well, he'd be nearly just top of the pops at the moment, wouldn't he?
Full top now with Jesse Forsyth with the 2 goals in the game today. I'm sure he knows about that. We'll want to get top spot overall. Took over 10 minutes remaining for Harbour to come up with something special. First they need the ball. It's in the possession of Canterbury. Take their opportunities, Canterbury. They've got to punish any mistakes Harbour make. That time well defended by Harbour. And Harbour will now look to quickly break if they can. Don't have the numbers forward at the moment though, so they had to wait. Now they'll build from the back. Space to come in over midfield. Now overlapping run out to the right. Cut back inside as the captain. Looking for a penetrating ball. Canterbury teammate or a foot finds neither. Now that was a pass to nowhere, really.
Oh, that was so disappointing.
An opportunity there. There were numbers in support, I thought, but...
Well, he could have passed it. It doesn't need to be received inside the circle, and he had a player sitting outside the circle. He just didn't execute.
Yeah, not enough on the pass. Lead North Harbour, the defending champions. On the verge of their 6th title. They were the inaugural winners of this competition, the men's national senior tournament in 2001. They're in their 7th straight final. They're trying to make it, 4 in 7 years.
Yeah, pretty impressive. And Canterbury's actually starting to come up with some very, very nice plays, so they can continue holding possession. I
go to the very last minute. They'll play the full 60, that's for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of good young legs. They'll keep running. They
will keep running. What will be interesting if we go another 3 or 4 minutes with the scores not changing, whether Harbour makes the call to remove their keeper. So
you've got to think Grayson Javins is getting ready to take off his gear, the keeper for North Harbour, because it's certainly reaching that in your favour. It's a risky strategy. It either works or it doesn't. Harbour now coming up with possession against the run of play. What can they come up with? The break is on here. Well defended by Canterbury. That was Guy Strawbridge. Very important tackle. I think he was the man who gave it away, so doing well to win it back.
Yes, he was the man who gave it away, so he would be pretty disappointed with himself there.
He'll be happy he did the job, though. No danger done in the end. Keeper pulled? No. Thought we might be. Not sure what that stoppage was for.
Well, we'll find out very shortly. When we see if there's a keeper in the net.
Yeah. Assuming that's what the situation was. No, the keeper's still there.
No, keeper's still there. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. Never mind, we've got this long corner restart. So Canterbury's just still want it their way. You know, Canterbury. Oh, no, they didn't restart.
It did move forward, though, didn't it? And players would often try and catch people off by pretending to take a restart like that. So, I took the restart. It moved.
Well, this is nice here.
Good numbers back, though, by Harbour. But now inside the circle, Canterbury go, working baseline. Harbour able to clear, earning the free hit. So well defended by Harbour. That was looking dangerous for Canterbury.
Yeah, but again, Canterbury is starting to utilise those bases.
Dealt with. There was cover behind for Canterbury as well. So he knew that he was able to try and go for the ball and win possession. And he had safety of a teammate behind him. Well won by Canterbury. Now Harbour back with it. They're switching now, going to this left-hand side. Do they have any joy here? Tick under 6 minutes remaining in the contest. Well defended again. So we're going to see that keeper pulled or not.
Another stoppage and player. Yep, no.
Keeper's gone.
Yep.
Keeper's gone. Great work by our camera crew here. So the keeper has been pulled. So North Harbour going with the extra outfield player. We'll see.
So the key to this will be if Harbour won't necessarily change their back defensive structure, is to push that extra player right into the attacking, and that should create an overlap for Harbour, and that's where it becomes dangerous for the defending team. And it looks like they've done that. You'll notice in the far screen they've pushed too high into the circle. They'll be trying to stretch the game on
possession in their own territory.
Not when you've got the likes of Gilbert, Ghosting up there, who can just punish them.
Yeah, with an open goal to make their way into. Unable to make the most of the extra man at that stage. And now Canterbury on attack. And now this is dangerous for North Harbour. They get the numbers back, but Canterbury have numbers there as well. Now the extra man arrives. Canterbury.
On Willie Haid there. Willie Hayes also can be a very dangerous man when he's carrying the ball. So he was obviously looking for a penalty corner with the Harbour defence on him.
Now, Harbour, well, they're a bit careless in possession there. They need to take their time and make the most of this man advantage, but unable to do so there. Now they have it back, but deep inside their territory, almost robbed. Pick the pocket was the attempt from Canterbury. Harbour keep it. And now can they find something here? A goal in the next minute or so would make it very interesting, but it's poorly given up. And now Canterbury. I thought he was trying to find a teammate, but yeah, over the sideline.
Yeah, it's funny how the pressure builds differently.
Let off for Harbour, but still Canterbury looking to close us out with ease, really. They haven't been troubled too much by the extra Harbour player.
Not at the moment.
Haven't. Yeah, well worked there by the skipper doing exactly that. Christopher Goldsberry, a bit of a dribble, then just playing it off an opponent's leg, slowing it down, earning the free hit. Now he'll look to drive it into the circle as well. Stopped on the edge of the circle by Harbour. Now they have to go about their work quickly because there's now less than 2.5 minutes remaining. They need a goal now. Now they got a two-player advantage, I believe.
Yep.
On the field, on the outfield, that is. Just a one player on the pitch, but on the outfield players.
Always dangerous for a player to get within the 5 in those last 2 or 3 minutes, and that's what Gilbert did. Bueller will just, I think this is Bueller, he'll just run this up, and they'll try and find a player and just hold it in that corner. Yes. No need to do anything silly here.
Soak up all the time, use all their experience, and there's so much experience, well, given away rather cheaply. Now Harbour looks to attack, but then another turnover as well. Big contest on the sideline, play on. Harbour. Can someone get in the circle? Well, it was good work initially by Harbour, but he just didn't have a teammate. There was 3 Canterbury players on one Harbour player. Like, where are you guys? And they didn't come in time. And it is back to Canterbury. They have the free hit.
Big call from Gando down there. Just keep telling and encouraging his players to keep the ball, keep possession. But unfortunately, Canterbury just give it away again. Last minute, what can Harbour do?
Still time against them, but can they set up Harbour with that extra advantage, having pulled the keeper? Can they find that mismatch in the circle? They just can't get to the circle. Well defended again by Canterbury, and Canterbury clear it out down the baseline, the other end of the field, as far away as possible. Won this men's national senior tournament. They're seconds away from confirming that. And they look up to the clock, the Beavers, and now it expires. The Canterbury Beavers are the men's Ford National Senior Tournament champions for 2019. They have come from behind to beat North Harbour, the defending champs, 3-1, a 4th title in 7 seasons for this Canterbury side, and a 6th overall. Congratulations to
keep Canterbury in for the few times that they got in there and just gave them that platform to move forward.
Well, we'll stick around with us because we're going to have the full match presentation as well, as we have a chance to go sideline to Nigel Gregory.
Well, you must be one very, very happy.
This is the last two finals, but to win this one means a huge amount for us now. Yep.
You've been a goal-scoring machine this week. What have you done that's enabled that? 30 goals before the final today.
Well, it's just passing the ball, playing team-orientated hockey, and we've had so many different goal scorers. So that's probably been the biggest thing.
And again, we asked the question, during the week, did you have a plan that went the whole way through the week, or were you...
Probably the biggest one was actually our defensive 25 work. We just allowed too many teams coming through the middle of our defence, and we were able to make those adjustments today, and that's resulted in them only getting one goal.
And up front, happy with the performance up there, obviously?
Oh, yeah, very happy. We could have scored some more goals, however, we took the chances to score just before half-time and just after half-time. It really meant a lot, so...
And having such a successful week leading up to this, the confidence...
Now they'll get to celebrate as a team and enjoy it.
Well, congratulations to you on what you've done with the side, and I'll join your team for the award ceremony.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sanjay.
Nigel Gregory, who I'm sure will have more post-match reaction as well from the two sides. Successful Canterbury Beavers team, but a very happy coach in Sanjay Gander as we see some of the highlights here. Wonderfully taken penalty corner. You can see the resignation almost in the Harbour players' reaction as well to that one. They just knew they simply couldn't beat it. And then this one, lovely teamwork, finding the open man at the back post. And he couldn't be stopped. An 8th goal for Jack Gilbert, penalty corner, and then field goal. Comments on what was a thrilling men's final.
Oh, listen, it was excellent. We had Harbour competing really, really well in the first half. Different style. Got first goal up, really rocked the socks of the Canterbury Beavers. So then we had them just slowly working up. Listen, we got a strangling North Harbour. They just strangled the possession as the half went on. And, Gilbert came away with 2 great goals.
Yeah, and that was the final difference between Nigel Gregory.
Kia ora katoa, nā mai, haere mai, ki Tauranga Moana. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time in the cooling temperatures here at Tauranga Hockey Centre, and congratulations to the teams this afternoon. We've had a fine display of hockey. I'd like to offer some thank yous, if I could, this evening, and I'd like to make a big mention to Clinton Butler from Tauranga Hockey Association for coordinating the work of his team of volunteers to make this a successful tournament so far. Thank you, Clinton. And a special mention for the on-field umpires today, Brendan Johnson and Stephen McLaughlin, and the match director, Paul Tessier. If I could award the National Seniors Tournament Umpire of the Year, which will be... Congratulations to you, Sam. We've had dual winners for the top goal scorer for the National Seniors Tournament this year, and the 2 winners with 8 goals each across the week, Mr. Jack Gilbert from Canterbury and Jesse Forsyth from Tasman. Now to our medal ceremony, and to present the bronze medals, Jackie Tomlinson will present those to the Waikato Bears. The silver medals today will be presented by Mr. Paul Scott, National Seniors Tournament, the Canterbury Beavers. And as the medals are being handed out, I wonder if I could call, please, on the captain of the North Harbour side to have a few words. All yours.
can't say anything.
Just thanking your players and your officials and such like.
Charlie, I love you. All up to you, mate. Cheers. And I will call on the captain of the Canterbury Beavers to have a few words, please.
First of all, whoever been excellent. So, whoever you are, go and demand that on Monday morning. To all the players that are involved in this tournament, this is why we play it, because there's a lot of guys that keep coming back and keep having some great memories. So, to all of you who have taken part, it's just a blessing to play alongside you, against you. It's pretty hard out there. But been and done it again. So we had to be probably better than we have been all week to get past you today, and that's a great respect to what you guys have done, and hopefully some way we can keep this going. I know the tournament's changing, but somehow we've got to keep it going. So well done to you, and a big shout out to the Waikato boys for getting that bronze medal. Just lastly to the boys, hell of an effort. We have so much fun together. It's been a short and sharp campaign, but to come up here and finish off like we have has been awesome. To our 3 management crew, you have safe travels home, and hopefully we'll see you again next year.
Thank you very much. And I'll call on Clinton Butler from Tauranga Hockey to award the Newman Cup to Canterbury Beavers. Congratulations to you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your patronage today. Safe travels home, players. Congratulations from Tauranga Hockey Centre.
Hockey New Zealand's coverage of the Ford National Hockey League is proudly brought to you by Ford New Zealand in association with our hosts Tauranga Hockey and the Tauranga City Council, and thanks to key partners TECT, Trillion Trust, Educare and Vantage Windows and Doors, principal partner of Hockey New Zealand.